A storm is battering British politics, violent, unexpected, and aimed straight at the heart of Westminster. Whether this is a true reckoning or just another surreal twist in the UK's democratic drama, one thing is clear. The ground beneath establishment politics has shifted, and through the cracks marches Reform UK, louder and more disruptive than ever, with Nigel Farage back in the spotlight. For decades, British politics followed a predictable script. Labour in red, Conservatives in blue, trading power like clockwork. That cosy old rhythm has shattered. What's rising in its place feels raw, volatile, and explosive. This past week wasn't just about local elections, it was a political uprising. Labour strongholds like Doncaster fell. Reform UK didn't just win, they surged, capturing more than 600 council seats while the traditional parties were still preparing their press statements. It was swift, strategic, and stunning. Labour's response was to stay the course. Keir Starmer urging voters to go faster and further. But that message, meant to reassure, sounded more like denial. Trying to accelerate a broken machine doesn't inspire confidence, and increasingly, voters feel like no one is listening. Meanwhile, Reform didn't knock. They walked into the living room of British politics, helped themselves to the best seat, and acted like it was always theirs. Their razor-thin win in Runnon and Helsby by just 6 votes was no fluke. It was symbolic. Every ballot cast carried the weight of a public that's exhausted and out of patience. Labour's problem isn't messaging, it's meaning. Its strategy machine is broken at its core. Even party MPs are sounding alarms. Emma Lewell-Buck declared Labour out of touch, while Clive Efford called its direction madness. The party isn't failing to explain, it's failing to connect. Why are voters abandoning the old parties? The answer is simple and painful: exhaustion. The cost of living has soared, the NHS is overburdened, housing remains a crisis, immigration divisive. But worst of all is the certainty that no one in power is truly listening. Voters aren't demanding miracles, they're pleading for honesty, clarity, and action. To many, Labour and the Conservatives now feel indistinguishable. Two sides of a worn-out coin. Enter Farage. Whatever you think of him, his talent for tapping into national frustration is undeniable. He isn't just campaigning, he's dismantling political norms, brick by brick, and offering something new, not necessarily better or more functional, but unmistakably different. And right now, different is winning. On Channel 5's Jeremy Vine show, what began as a policy discussion quickly became a national therapy session. When Andrea Jenkyns was announced as Reform's first elected mayor and Labour lost Runnon after decades, it felt like a signal flare. People weren't just voting, they were revolting. Storm Huntley's pointed question, "Are they really winning you over?" struck a nerve. Viewers responded in droves, sharing personal struggles, economic fears, and deep political disappointment. Reform supporters praised the party's blunt honesty. Critics called them simplistic and reckless, but what resonated was the disconnect. When commentator Daniel Stedlin criticised Reform's policy gaps, it came off more like a lecture than a conversation, proving once again that many in the establishment don't hear the pain behind the anger. Even Matthew Taylor, another analyst, admitted the shift might be less about belief in Reform's ideas and more about a profound disillusionment with everyone else. Labour's win just 10 months ago wasn't a wave of inspiration, it was a rejection of the Tories. But since then, little has changed. Fuel support has been slashed, small businesses are suffocating, rural communities feel erased by central planning. Reform isn't winning because they've cracked the code, they're winning because they seem like they care. One of the most poignant moments came when Sue, a lifelong Tory voter, said she voted Reform. Not because she believed every word of their manifesto, but because they felt fresh. Someone, finally, seemed to be listening. It wasn't hope, it was desperation. But desperation votes count too, and there are a lot of Sues out there. This isn't about traditional left or right, it's about a total breakdown in public trust. Reform's foundation may be shaky, their policies may not hold up under scrutiny, but they're speaking directly and confidently in a time when everyone else hedges and spins. And in today's Britain, that resonates. Farage as Prime Minister, once absurd, now entirely plausible. Whether that's the cure, or a catastrophic experiment remains to be seen. But one thing is no longer up for debate. The public is done waiting. They're done being ignored, and they're speaking, clearly, loudly, and without apology.